They'll be calling you a radical. You know, I had a week off from this YouTube site because I was in the Nevada test site protesting with a bunch of softball activists who backed out on me because they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to fight intelligently. But it amazes me. I'll sit back and watch. There's two major stories of Fukushima. I says, oh, they'll pick up the slack. I mean, it's amazing. People can't see a Picasso if it's in their face, and if they do, they'll paint it red. I mean, that's what we're up against twofold. These are major stories, and I'm going to talk a little bit about cancer and my alternative to the alternative, and about you as what you need to watch for and what you do. Well, briefly, first, the TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority. By the way, this is the scam you're going to get shoved down your throat. Lessons learned. This is what's come down. This is how they're going to play you. This is going to be billions of dollars. And first, this is exactly what they're going to do. The TVA, by the way, Charles Crutch, who was a lifelong resident of Knoxville, Tennessee. As I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, it was so perfect, it was so eloquent that Megan's Rice Herring was there for so many reasons. And if any of you get a chance to go into Knoxville to the East Tennessee Museum, it is spectacular. It is probably the best museum I've ever been in, ever. On so many music, culture, you know, the come of the past, you know, plowshares, paddling canoe. I mean, it is masterful there. You know, so many of the, all the way back. I mean, all the way back to Soto. But I want to talk about this, what they've come up with now. This is the Manhattan Project gone amok. Look, bottom line, nuclear is so outdated. It was a scam from the beginning. It was a fallacy from the beginning. It was a fucking lie from the beginning. We don't use it. Hello. All the plants shut down in Japan. There's no black. We don't use it as a scam. It is the cash cow from hell gone amok. Guy says, oh, invest in public utility. Come on. Come on. This is 2014. Hello. Have you fucking fainting goats been asleep for 20 years? They deregged them all. This is a fucking, this is a scam. The Manhattan Project gonna, look, so they're gonna hammer trillions of dollars at you. They're saying they're gonna build these new reactors, TV1, TV2. They're gonna put them all the way down to the bedrock where they can handle a Fukushima event. This Fukushima event, this is the biggest scam. Number one, the answer to Fukushima, the counter to Fukushima, shut the fucking pieces of shit down. We don't use them. Hello, it's a cash cow. Price Anderson, you are forced to pay for them. You're forced to insure them. You're forced to pay for the cleanup. You're forced to buy back the energy they produce. We don't, hello, solar race back. Everybody says, oh, we need the tech. No, the technology happened. Look, Southern California, perfect. San Onofre makes up 13% of the grid. We'll talk about some of my activism too. Look, this is a major deal. They're going to cram this down your throat. And you as a voter, you won't even, because you don't even know your congressman, his representative government is very real. Congress wields incredible power. You know, but you don't even know who your representative is because you're caught up in the freaking blue pill, red pill, freaking dime gap. They shove it down, they feed you, they lead you around like the little bitch you are, not me. Think for yourself, come on, please. This is what they're going to do. This is going to cost hundreds of trillions of dollars of taxpayers' money. The Manhattan Project is out of control. The military is out of control. It is bankrupting you. It already bankrupted the country. All the dollars going to crash. You're 10 years late, fools. You know, this is going to, I mean, you're so wrong. This isn't a popularity contest. The other freaking big story is number 5 in Fukushima. They told us 10 days ago, Fox News themselves reported it, that there was a leak in the cooling pool, and if they didn't have it handled in 9 days, it would be in fission. Well, now it's being reported in more leaks. Is there an event in number 5? Absolutely. There's been an event from day 1. October 2013, 7.2 earthquake. We know they were unloading fuel in 5 and 6 is the shiny ball they had you on for. Lost fuel. There's events happening in them all. Their answer, just pushing into the Pacific Ocean. They're telling you blatant right into your face. We're dumping 400 tons of plutonium wastewater a day into the Pacific Ocean. I mean, they don't even try to catch it anymore. They're ice walled. I mean, it's all propaganda being run by this nuclear cartel. This is a big deal. I want to talk about my cancer, my activism. Now, as far as my cancer goes, I want people to understand, would this vlog ended a long time ago if I didn't have this fight on my hands with leukemia in my body? Oh, absolutely. Would my anti-nuclear activism? Oh no, I mean, I'm a human rights activist on so many ways. A lot of people know around here, they pull back on me. My human rights activism, I've never changed. I've never varied from the time I was a little boy. I take them all on. My friends that were just arrested up there in Utah thrown in the Uintah County jail. They were thrown in the jail. You're okay. I mean, they're great. I know those guys. They're the real deal. They're powerful activists. I love him. We were together when we did the activism. You know, he and I is the ones that named Dirty Herbie. So if any of you guys can protect them, help them, you know, they need money, get themselves bailed out of jail. You know, they're great. They're awesome. I mean, they're the real deal. But as far as tar sands, pipelines, as evil, as horrific as they are, Fukushima trumps all that by many, many, many times. It's the top of the like post-ignorance. The tent goes over it all. Look, my cancer, I want to talk about this. Yeah, I'm a big carrot juice drinker. Big time. It shows you how you can posture yourself. I absolutely crave it. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I'd rather drink this than freaking Shakespeare Rogue out of Newport, Oregon, which was my favorite thing, one of my favorite things in the world till I got cancer. As far as the blood work goes, and I want people to know, I wish they would have never named acute leukemia AML like I have a leukemia. People confuse leukemia with chronic leukemia. As horrible as that disease is, juvenile leukemia is horrible, and you don't think medicine can make strides, you think about what they've done with juvenile leukemia. I think the survival rate's 96+%. It's an amazing what they've done. I want people to understand that. I wish they would have never named it leukemia because they group things together. As far as your blood works go, you know, if you're getting blood works, your white counts elevated multiple times, yeah, that's part of it. But you can only tell so much from the bloodline. And here's what I tell people. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. I'm saying it's going to give you leukemia, it's going to give you leukemia. I could feel an energy inside myself. I knew something was wrong with me in August, well, early September of 2011. I knew something. Then, look, 3 things you really dramatically have to watch. Rapid weight loss, of course. Big time, big time. Drop in libido. Big time. Diarrhea. I mean, change in your earwax. I had massive change in mine. They went hard. These are signs. These are early signs. But the blood works only tell so much. We have the most sophisticated blood work, and every time I try to declare myself healed from this disease and walk away, I mean, the reality sets in that this is a long, hard walk that I have to be. Look, I've done this without a bone marrow transplant. The first person in the country willingly who's done it. Brian Morris did it unwillingly. Went home to die, didn't die. So many of us, this militancy in the truth, in the reality, my doctor says it so perfectly. He says, Kevin, there's no doubt in my mind. Your hardcore activism, your way, you walk, you hike, you eat right, you know, and I'm not so over the top. No, I make mistakes. I cheat when I have my blood works the other day. He says, what you been drinking? I said, carrot juice. Yeah, maybe with some vodka in it, he says. I said, what do you mean? We got a bunch of alcohol, you know, and that was 6 days before I drank some Belgian beer that, you can have that stuff. But, you know, look, there's my, it's going off, it's whistling. This thing whistles at me. Nancy Chamberlain, she's great down in Southern California, she's a great activist, sent me this. Logical, smart, intelligent, knows that's what we are here. Look, bone marrow biopsy is the only way you really, really know for sure. And they're brutal. I mean, the CAT scan, the PET scan are so important if you're full of freaking cancer or whatever, but once you're going to walk, you can't just go have PET scans and CAT scans because they're so full of radiation. I mean, they're hardcore and they work, but the bottom line, yeah, live like you have cancer before you have cancer. But these diseases are so radically different. Acute leukemia versus chronic leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is a horrific disease. Horrific. By the way, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in my freaking lymph nodes and AML simultaneously. I did have a little bit of light radiation. The only reason I had the light radiation, I didn't want it. I didn't want it. But Dr. Thompson, I was his very last patient, 38 years. I said, as long as you do it yourself. And he did it in my lower lymph nodes. My Geiger counter whistling. But I want people to understand this is once it's acute, your militancy, as far as, you know, smoke some weed, some ginger, these different things, they're great. They're great. We should all be living like this. The green teas, these things, we should all be living like this. But there's a bigger piece. There's a bigger piece, and the piece is the intensity and the truth. The reality of the fight. The reality of the fight. The knowledge, thus post-ignorance. Ignorance is a killer from hell. It's a death sentence. I'm telling you, my own knowledge saved my own life in so many ways. And then my relationships with the beautiful, great militant doctor, Vincent Hansen. I mean, he's in his 80s, this guy. His brother and father both died of thyroid cancer. My life, my way, my walk, my understanding of these diseases. as an anti-nuclear activist. Look, and if you don't believe me, you can go to Denali and all these tree huggers, they say, oh, you tree huggers. I got into it with a great big dude this morning. Great big dude, he called me a tree hugger. I says, what, you think I'm going to back down? You fucked with the wrong tree. I says, I'll drop you like a fucking big bag of fucking shit. I don't give a fuck. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Fuck with me. I got right in his face. And these guys don't have, this whole consume, obey, consumption economy, this fucking overbuild economy, build more houses, fucking grow it, it's gone. Popism's dead. You can go in denial all you about it. There's the baby boomer, the demographic of alone does not meet the math. This economy's overbuilt. The economy and the construction, I was a contractor for 35 years, we'll be tearing down structures and tearing down houses. You want to build more, bigger house, I got another one. How many? It's populism gone amok. It's the obey fucking culture, the fucking sheep. And if you don't believe me, you look what the CDC says themselves. Look at false cancer. Fukushima is cancer. They say the cancer pandemic. They're calling it the cancer pandemic. Hello, this is very, very fucking real. It's a herd of elephants in the room. Come on. Come out of denial. Fukushima is cancer. The Pacific genocide is very real. This ecosystem's combined every piece of DNA. I'll quote Russell Means again, who I absolutely love. Everything he said. You guys Anglo-Saxons, well, not even Anglos. You guys from China everywhere. Everybody flocked to America. This place become this place to extort. Oh, the lottery America. I'm going to be rich. No, you're not. No, you're not. The deck is so stacked against you. It's false bravado. It's fake. And it's always been. No, it's not always been this way. It's gone amok the last 30 years. It's not always been this way. You come here, he says, you come here trying to find heaven. Well, let me tell you something. When you got here, we had heaven. No jails, no locks, no environmental poisoning, no cancer. They had heaven right here. I mean, this geography right here, I think about it all the time. The biggest deer I ever seen stand right to this massive buck before all this blew up and grew up. I mean, it's so grand, the vistas, the beauty, the wildlife, the landscape, and as the animals go, you go. As the plant life goes, you go. Every piece of DNA is connected. It pours into the Pacific fish swim, they mingle, they travel. Fucking blue crap. Fuck, you're so sick. You fucking go get a fish burger. The marine layer rolls in, the jet stream rains. This thing is in every nook and cranny, every piece of DNA, and it is cancer. My walk, I'm the first guy to do this without a fucking bone marrow transplant willingly. My activism, has this kept me alive? No doubt. No fucking doubt. My daughter says, Kevin, your YouTube site, your hardcore activism, your human rights activism not only saved you in the beginning, but it saved you. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my kids' life. I'm fighting for my children's life. There's plenty of assholes out here. I can give a fuck. I mean, love thy enemies. I have a tough time with that, but I try. But our group and so many people that I do care about and that I do love that are good. I don't want them to die of leukemia. I've watched so many people go. I've watched so many people go on my face in this 3-year walk, and I watched my father go before this credible specimen that he was. But I've watched so many people go. I'm telling you, this fight is on. That's what people don't underestimate. They go in there and they think, oh, it's God's will. It's not God's will. God helps them to help themselves. And you're not just going to do it with little food. You're not going to mask the blood works. Because so many times you'll do this, and I see it in our hospital. These people take this pill. They're doing this. Look, my blood works are... No, they're not recovering. Because what those drugs do is mask the blood works. They trick you to think you're getting better. It's your bone marrow. It's the very fiber of your essence of your DNA. They go into your hips. Our little Chinese gal, she sits right in there. She doesn't even let them walk it to there. They dig into your hip and she does her smears right there. Right there. She won't even let nobody carry her smears from A to D because mistakes happen. We have computers. They try to take out the error, the diagnosis. I mean, that's where the tale is told. They're brutal and I don't want to have them. So you got to listen to yourself. You can't go in denial and you can't, I mean, look, Fukushima's a disaster, the biggest ecological disaster in human. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. There is no off switch, there's no answer. I'm about hope, I'm not about giving up. Surviving, which is post-ignorance is survival. It's our only shot, it's your children's only shot. Is this child abuse on BALCO? This is fucking genocide on BALCO. I'll quote Wallace Stegner, one of my great mentors who is incredible. If you think the Germans invented genocide, you know nothing about the American West. Kevin Blanch, if you think the Germans or these killing Native Americans were the end of genocide, you know nothing about the nuclear cartel. Eugenics, if it is eugenics, what a stupid way to control population because it kills mostly other bad stuff. It's flawed from the inception. And this is what they're going to shove down your throat for trillions of dollars when we don't even use it. It's a giant cash cow. That's all it is. It's a giant industry that has grown up massively and massively with all kinds of hairspray masquerade party, free money, money for nothing, and your chicks for free. Absolutely, big time. On BALCO. Stay tuned. These are big stories. Come on. The TVA, Charles Crutch, get your camera out. By the way, Knoxville, Tennessee, some tomato soup right there. The evangelicals preaching right as Megan Rice is being sentenced. Inside that trial, I was the only media there. And as far as my activism goes, Wine Critical Edition, wow. I mean, at the Golden Gate Marsh, watching the dog walkers chase the blue herons. As Noah themselves calls me, they're all wound up about the baby sea lion I shot out there. And I'm like, where's your office? Right here. What about the federally protected marsh? You got the fucking dog walkers chasing the blue herons. You can watch these videos. The dogs are chasing the blue herons. That's federally protected fucking marsh. I mean, when I'm standing in the cage with the real Tiananmen Square, those are the real deal. Drinking blood. They don't let anybody in that fucking cage. As I'm in front of CNBC doing that. That's why Occupy accomplished a lot. They took back the public square in New York City. I would have never got away with that before Occupy. They did great work. They planted some seeds. This baby has fucking been born. This baby's starting to walk. We need this baby to get intense and in the fucking truth and take these fuckers on. You know, there's answers. I have fucking answers. As I led the Million Masked Man March, that was a powerful gig. Fucking millions and millions participated. No media coverage? Fuck no. You know, no media coverage on the death of Aaron Swartz, on, you know, it's outrageous what we've done. We've been posturing and grooming, but let me tell you, cancer the great equalizer, Fukushima the great, you can't posture and groom yourself this time. You can't lie to yourself, so quit fucking lying to yourself. Break out of your dogma snuggies, quit eating your dogma burgers, and my art, my passion, my touch. By the way, that piece of art I made yesterday, I've been looking at it laying out. Wow, you can say it's ugly all you want. Boy, I was looking on the ground out there today. Boy, did it turn out magnificent. Forever young. Stay untuned.